Shalom, shalom. This is Brother Amawan coming to the video. Lord one's edifying. First and foremost, I want to give honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. The honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well. Shalom to the whole feet like men that scattered abroad, pushing the truth without sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And also shalom to very few sincere sisters that's taking heed and getting in order in these last days. On the Brother Amawan coming to the video. Lord one's edifying once again. So it's my second time trying to do this video, so I'm pissed. I literally did the video, everything, and then it says screen recording error or something like that. So it didn't download the video to the phone. So, hey, just do it again, right? Just Satan trying to not let this truth go forth, right? Let us not warn our people, especially our women. So this Jake has a prophecy, right? The Lord revealed him a vision, of Isaiah 4:1, right? He was saying I'm gonna let the video play, but he had a vision of, women, pretty much, running around looking for a man to get married, man, because all hell was breaking loose, man, right? The wars, right? These women looking for coverage, right? So let's grab this right quick. Joel chapter 2, verse 28. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Right? And to prophesy, just to speak about things before it happen. Your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit, right? So the Lord is going to put the spirit upon the tribes and also the heathen tribes, right? They're going to be coming out with prophecies, man. And that what more warning can you get, right? Because us servants of prophets, starting off with our apostles, they've been bringing it out, telling what's supposed to happen in the future event, right, in the future time, right? Habakkuk 2nd chapter 3rd verse, for the visions yet from the appointed time, but the end shall speak and not lie, right? The book of Isaiah 4:1, that will happen on this side. Right, 7 women will be taking hold of one man. A completion of number will be taking hold of one man because of the hell that's going on, right? And that's the thing about it, it's too far-fetched, especially for females, right? That they going to be taking hold to one man, clinging to one man, right? They don't see that it's too far-fetched for them until shit hit the fan, right? So let me matter of fact, it was in my I had two things queued up, right? Because when I was typing in Isaiah 4:1, the AI overview came, so I want to just go into this right quick. It says Isaiah 4:1 describes a future where an extreme scarcity of men, likely due to war, right, which we're in right now, right? Ecclesiastes chapter 3:1. It's a season for everything, right? Jumping down to verse 8. It's a time of hate, it's a time of love, a time of war, right? It's the time that we're in, right? You're about to see troops you're about to see the YNs go against troops in Chicago, right? Memphis, right? All throughout, man, right? And best believe these troops really finna be putting belt to ass on a lot of these men, right? Which is going to free up these women to be looking for protection now. Then you got these men that's going to be going to the final war, right? Once they get on that plane, they ain't coming back, right? Matter of fact, that's in the book of 2 Timothy 16 and 33. The virgin shall mourn having no bridegrooms. The woman shall mourn having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn having no helpers, right? What you think these women going to do when their protection is gone? Right, they're gonna be seeking for more protection, man. Right, that's why in that time of Jacob trouble, the Lord is gonna raise us up, hopefully men up, and we very valuable in that day. We valuable now. The people just can't see. The world can't see it. But in that day, when all hell breaks loose, you're gonna see who's real valuable, right? Because we're gonna be the one that's stable, like it states in the book of Isaiah 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and the strength of salvation. So it says, in the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Right? We know that's coming down the pipeline too. A lot of these niggas ain't in shape. You know, can't do 10 push-ups. You know, I just fatigue real fast. You know, eating all this GMO food. Right? When that food famine actually hit, they don't know how to fast. When that food famine hit, a lot of them really going to be through. Right? Scripture says it's better to die by the sword than die by famine. Right? So let's go ahead and let the video play.
Months later, I had another dream, and for those
in Salakia, the backdrop was he had two dreams, and the last dream, you know, you can definitely go watch it, but he was speaking on like how a bunch of men was dying in this war. They went to this one field, and you know they was getting spanked by them bullets, man. You know, and pretty much he was saying how this dream links up to the dream I'm about to show right now, in a way. But we're not gonna watch the full thing because you know his dreams start taking a turn.
those that understand what I'm saying, if you understand what I'm saying, this dream was connected to the first one, even though they were months apart. And I'll tell you how I know it. You'll hear it when I talk about it. In the second dream, it was about Generation Z women. There were no millennial women in this. It was Generation Z women and millennial men. They were the only ones I saw in this. So
when I look at this right here through the spirit, right, because a lot of these Generation Z women, they cook, you know, and who they looking for? They're looking for the millennial men, right, and not, hey man, we talking about the elect men. That's who they're looking for to marry, right? When all hell break loose, they're not thinking about Tyrone that only got them sell 3 5s all day, you know. They looking for the man that's really gonna cover them, right? Be their hedge of protection, right? So I seen that as that was the elect, you know, being approached from these Generation Z women because they're through.
The Generation Z women were running around holding babies. They were holding their children, and they were running around looking for men. They were asking men to marry them. They were telling men, please. They were telling.
Right, and he said they were asking men to marry them. Right, hey, the time we come to, it's gonna be past that. See, and see, the Lord, you know, the man has a beautiful dream, right? I'll give him that. But that's just a small little, you know. So the Lord gonna have these women begging, like the scripture says. You know, he was like, you know, we'll eat our own bread, wear our own apparel, just only let us be called by thy name. They in the state of begging, you know, saying they would do whatever, just let us be called by your name. Pretty much just let it be a part of your household, right? Which will be through the act of sex, you know. That's where it's going to be at, right? And hey, man, a lot of us, you know, men, Lord willing, I'm part of that remnant, right, will be rejecting a lot of these women. That's just the reality to it, right? Because a lot of women have to fulfill the prophecy of Zechariah 13:8, 2/3 shall be cut off and die. You know, a lot of women will be rejected, you know, and you will have your remnant of women that will, you know, be accepted, you know, and those will be the pick-me's, man. You know, those will be the pick-me's. You know, and like we always say, there's nothing wrong with being a pick-me, because who the hell wouldn't want to be picked? You know, don't let these Babylonian bird brain bitches fool you. You know, all because you're trying to get in order with our power. You know, because man, us hopefully like men, we're trying to be a pick-me for Lord Yahweh Shai. We ain't trying to get belt the ass on this side, man. You know, nor any side. You know, we don't want no smoke with the Lord, man. So we're trying to do what He required us to do: teach His word, stay in order, right? Keep the law, statutes, commandments to the best of our ability. You know. So in that day, we get the fruits of our labor. We get the rewards of our labor, right? You women, right? That's sincerely walking in this truth, man. Hey, keep going. You know, your work's going to pay off, right? While your best friend be talking shit about you, how you so submissive, right? Hey, that bitch gonna be fried and laid to the side in Jacob's trouble. You know, she gonna be begging you to ask your Lord to bring her in. You know, so yeah, you know, y'all women, y'all keep doing y'all keep handling business. You know, but kind of left off. Forgot where I was. I'm gonna keep playing the video.
Millennial men, please marry me. Please marry me. If you don't marry me, I won't survive. I won't be protected. No one will care. Help me.
See, and that's what that's the time we coming into, man. That's the reality. That's the reality. I love quoting the apostle. You can ignore reality, but you cannot escape the consequences from ignoring reality. Reality is you need a man. Not just any man, a man of the Lord. When this shit get real, that's the only man that can say that's your only hope. You know, he said, I won't be able to survive, right? Speaking from the woman's perspective, right? Matter of fact, let me grab this. Am I jumping the gun? It don't even matter. Right, it all ties in. This is the book of Isaiah 4:1 in the overview, right? When I just typed it in, it said describes a future where an extreme scarcity of men, likely due to war, right? Like we bring out in the book of Ecclesiastes 3, right? Lord willing, I'm not repeating myself. I just did this video twice, so I can't remember if I just said this inside this video. Salakia. Right, due to war, right? Ecclesiastes 3:1, right? Jumping down to verse 8. You know, we're in a time of war. Right, but it says leads to 7 women sharing a single man for marriage, offering to provide their own food and clothing, but only seeking the social status and removal of reproach associated with being called by man's name. Right, you'll be a part of that man's house, like right, which I said is through the act of sex. You'll be a part of that man's house. That'd be the marriage. Right, so and you may be sharing that man to probably 20 more other women, 10 more other women. You know, you may be the second. You may be the first. You know, who's to say? You know, but at the end of the day, you will be sharing. No matter how the order is, you'll be sharing the man for the most part, right? And that 7 is a completion of number, right? So I went down to the verse content, right? Man, this right here, the verse content is heavy. But it says, and that day, the setting says, and that day refers to a future period of great devastation, right? And I had looked up the word for devastation, right? And it says what? Destruction. What we always talk about, destruction. What was coming down to? What's come to America? Whoa, destruction, man. Right? Destruction. That wind. Right? Let's go to the book of Isaiah right quick. Isaiah 32 and verse 2. And a man shall be a hiding place from the wind, or the destruction that's coming upon, you know, this earth, right? And a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. That's how beautiful how the Lord just described how, you know, excuse me, the how rare we will be in the time and how convenient we will be, right? Because if you find us, you found salvation, right? A river of water in a dry place, right? A shadow of a great rock in the, hey man, you found some shade in the desert, man. You consider lucky, right? You're lucky. and you know, a lot of women, like I said, will get rejected. Right? This is why we tell women it's high time to wake out of sleep. It's high time to, you know, come out of that ease spirit, right? You know, the Lord is judging, right? Let me go back to this video right quick.
Help me. And a lot of the men were turning them down. The men and the millennial men, please marry me. Please marry me. If you don't marry me, I won't survive. I won't be protected. No one will care. Help me. And a lot of the men were turning them down.
Hey, kind of what you know, it's gonna be a dog eat dog world. You know, it's gonna be a dog eat dog world. Nobody not worrying about trying to help this woman survive. Nope. Hey, life wasn't gonna be a part of the barter system, man. Right? And their only hope is the man of the Lord.
The men were telling them, I'm not raising you in those babies. I'm not raising you in that baby. And what it was, like, it came to me. Those women.
Right? And that's when, his dream took a turn at. But hey, man, we discern these, these dreams, and we make lessons out of them. Right? We know when to cut it off, right? Excuse me. So let me go back to the Isaiah 4. Not the devastation, Isaiah 4 one part. It's just the scarcity. Matter of fact, let me write that Jeremiah 30:7, because it says the scarcity of men. It says that it's a severe imbalance of men in whom occurs with 7 women available to 1 man, right? And when you look at it naturally, just in general, right, you see is the comparison from women to men ratio is more women than men, right? But it's gonna be even less of that when these wars start popping off, right? Like I said earlier, you got these troops finna be on the ground putting, bullets inside really, these YNs, man, and whoever want to go against it, whoever feeling emotional enough to hop out there. It says the woman proposed to provide their own food and clothes, which is the opposite of a traditional arrangement, in exchange for being married to the man. See, that's the plea. It's just like, look, man, I'll do whatever, right? I'll do whatever to be, now I don't want to be in a state of being a pick-me. It's just the reason their primary desire is to be called by his name, to remove the social stigma and disgrace of being unmarried and childless, right? And that's for the ones that, don't got kids. Excuse me. Right. Right. So let me go back. So I can go ahead and close this out. Don't want to be on this too long. So this is the book of Isaiah 4 verse 1 in the Living Bible. At that time, so few men will be left alive. The 7 women will fight over each of them and say, let us all marry you. See, that's the spirit of being a pick-me in that day. Like I said, a lot will get rejected, and the man will have the choosing of his, of his pick. Right, going back to the movie with Chris Tucker. I think it was Rush Hour. He was picking all the Chinese women that he wanted. Lady said, whichever one you want, grab them, get them. And he just got the picking. That's how it's gonna be for men and Lord in that day, to a degree. You know what I'm saying? You have to clean some of them up and stuff like that, right? It says we will furnish our own food and clothing. Only let us be called by your name, so that we won't be mocked as old maids, right? Take that stigma off, man. That reproach, like the woman been acting, right? It's pretty much they'll be cleansing the sight of the Lord by coming through us, So let me close out with one last scripture in the book of Isaiah 13 and 12. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Right? So the Lord's going to make a man that valuable in that day than fine gold. And gold is hard to come across. Right? So how much more in the time of all hell breaking loose, and the man got us men of the Lord, hiding out. Right? So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory. All honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Kakadash. Shalom. And Shalom. I also want just to mention the brother's channel, right, that I was getting this video off of. But I thought it said inside this video, but I didn't. It's like the last video that got clipped. It didn't upload. But it was from the brother Saints of Jersey too. He definitely had I was doing a land back off of his video. Right, so always watch, subscribe, and be edified. to his channel, Salakia, right? And call Allah Yahbashma Shabrakatah to you, brother. Right. So with that being said, Shalom.